Storm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Hello. Trevor, what are we going to do today?
I don't know. We didn't talk about that because we've been talking too much about the movie Unbelievable that we discussed last week. I'm happy to go with some plain old click pitch if that's what we want to do.
Sure, let's do some click pitch. We won't go too deep into Unbelievable, but we did fall down a strange internet rabbit hole from the director and writer of that movie and some of his previous works and potential future movies based on those previous works. Just about the usual sort of stuff about aliens who come to Earth and impregnate people with archangels. Like, who hasn't read that old classic? Who hasn't
experienced that
old chestnut? Yeah. But that's not for this show. We're going to do some click pitch. This is a game where we each have a random word generator in front of us. And on the count of 3 to 1 click, we're each going to get a word or two, depending on what Trevor's set up here. One word.
And
we're going to throw them up in the air.
Yep.
See if they hit each other in a pleasing manner.
Yes.
Slop onto the ground and see what sort of video game comes out.
Yeah. 3 to 1 click.
Aspirin.
Enthusiasm.
Ooh. Okay. Enthusiasm for blood.
for
blood thinners? Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, aspirin is used as a headache medication.
It's a painkiller,
it does thin the blood, and that may actually help relieve the headache because of, whatever it actually is.
Yeah.
Now,
however it works.
I mean, aspirin is typically an over-the-counter drug. So is this like a game where you're a drug dealer, but you're dealing with over-the-counter drugs?
Or is it just a pharmacist? I feel like we haven't done much with pharmacists.
Okay, yep.
Are we compounding drugs in this game? In a very
Freddy Farkas Fontier pharmacist sort of way.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it. That's
Freddy
about the
Farkas
only
Fontier
pharmacist game that I'm aware of. Good old Al Lowe's only non-Legislative Larry game that I'm aware of.
Okay, so where else could you set a pharmacist for an adventure game? I think adventure game is good.
Yeah,
or kind of similar to like the Strange Horticulture sort of thing. I think that could actually work well.
That could work well, where you're sort of having to find some clues to match up what drug is going to suit which thing, or and how to prepare it and that sort of thing. Yeah. I guess it depends what sort of tools you want to be working with.
I like the idea of it being sort of a little bit futuristic, because there is a game that I played a little while ago that does do some of this stuff, but it uses like the humors and all that sort of stuff, and it's like
I did see that. Yeah.
I played it a bit, and I'm like, I thought it was going to be something else, and I'm glad I only spent like $7 on this.
I think I just played the demo of it or something, and it was lacking a bit. I don't know if it was early access when I played it potentially, but
whereas Strange Horticulture was great, and I'm like, this is like that. And
Strange Horticulture was well balanced, I think, in that, and it had the through line running through. It took some of the good bits of Papers, Please, with the way people would sort of, you had just various different devices and different things you could use to unlock stuff. So yeah, I could see that working in a pharmacy sort of game. So do we do maybe just like, not like sci-fi future, maybe we just do like near future, where you've got sort of some technology or like different drugs that we haven't, that we obviously make up, but that we haven't discovered yet, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. And then you're getting people coming in with different, like some people come in with a prescription, but the doctor's handwriting is really hard to ascertain, and then they tell you what their symptoms are, and you kind of go, I can now see why this would be used, and that sort of stuff.
Well, and maybe there's some level of having to do a bit of deduction to find, like, you've got a record of prescriptions, right? They've come through from the doctor or whatever, but it's like, I don't know what this doctor's
handwriting
signature, like handwriting looks like. I can't read it from the handwriting, and so you have to ask them. You're like, I think this would be this, and then you can search based on like what you've deduced and go, here's a
sample of their handwriting,
prescription from that doctor. Well, and that's it. Maybe you start to learn just from their signature or whatever. It's it's like, oh shit, I've seen this doctor before. I remember that that's such and such. And you have to keep a little notepad of the names next to the signatures and stuff so you can track them down. But yeah, then having some research around, oh, okay, headaches and this together, they could probably, this is what would probably reduce this. Or even better, like, oh, they also have this drug, they definitely shouldn't take these drugs together, right?
Now, what I kind of like is they may not tell you what other drugs they're on, but because you're the only pharmacist and you've seen them, on previous days, you might be able to remember for this person, oh, they're taking that, so I have to to now give them this version of the drug instead of that version, because that version. You could easily have
there could
the
be an
same
aspect
sort
of
of book
that.
as Strange Horticulture, but and add things into the book as you go.
Yes,
and as you add
where you're having to, where you've got
medicines.
sort of a little bit of a vague description, and it could kind of be instead of horticulture, which was all a bit. It was vague because it was like, oh, this is a page that some random biologist or whatever has written at some point as they've found it. Because it's near future, it could be that it's written in sort of very formal medicine speak almost, that you also then have to kind of translate into what that actually means. But you could, what I was also thinking then is not just, that you as the pharmacist have prescribed them things before, but you could see potential side effects from certain medicines and drugs. So it's like, they're drooling out the left side of their mouth or something. That's a side effect of, XYZ.
Oh, come on, dude. You're having a stroke right now. Let's call 911 right now or whatever.
Well, but I mean, that could be a fun little stab at the whole, side effects may include, is that, some of these drugs, while fixing what they come for, will give them these ridiculous over the top side effects like, the tips of their hair turn green or, just weird shit.
Snakes grow out of their fingernails for 3 days. It's just snake hands.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, these are adult snakes. So it's been 3 days. You're on the final day of this.
You can tell they're adults because, that one's throwing up because he's drunk too much alcohol. That one's playing beer pong.
He's just he's just become of age.
Just turned 21 in snake age.
In snake years. We all know 2.5 is 21 in snake. Yeah, that's fun. I think you could do that well. I saw that Strange Horticulture, they're coming out with a sequel soon in like a antiques shop basically, or
Strange
like
Antiquities.
Antiquities, yeah.
It's on my wish list.
Yeah,
cannot wait. That's really cool.
I like that. It's fun. All right,
really cool.
3, 2, 1, click.
3, 2, 1, click.
Gyration.
Curriculum. I mean, this is sex school.
I mean, yes, it's fuck school. It's fuck university.
Fuck you.
It's fuck you. Good, my good old alma mater, FU. Okay, I was gonna veer it away from that, but that's pretty fucking good. Okay, what are the careers that are coming out of fuck you? I mean, porn stars clearly is part of it. Are we also training sex therapists, sex workers of other types? What are we doing? Or is this more of a vocation? Like this is more of a personal growth. You want to learn how to fuck good for your partner.
You just make me think of Derek Zoolander with for kids who need to learn how to read good.
For adults who need to learn how to fuck good.
I know. I kind of like the idea of, it's just a normal university. It just happens to have, an unfortunate naming thing where the initials actually just say fuck you.
Okay. Is it just FUC or something? Like it's not even
or FUK or something
or
like
FUK
that.
or something.
And everyone just calls it fuck you.
I don't know. I was kind of liking the idea of going from class to class, and it's just a series of hot coffee mini games over and over again.
I mean, it reminds me very much of goddamn the Leisure Suit Larry, like
like the newer one that was all these weird mini games with sperm and stuff or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that came out like
the 3D ones,
Magna Cum Laude or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you had box office bust.
Right.
And then straight after that came, well, not straight after that, but then you know,
it was the one where they handed it over to
Where Dreams Don't Dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was actually not as terrible as it actually had some of the proper Leisure Suit Larry adventure game.
Yeah.
Chops.
Moon Logic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so fuck you. Is I mean, now's the choice. Do we go down, you know, are there classes about how to make your wife come or how to make your partner come, and or is it more bland subjects, but there's also, you know, the
Is there one professor who's like teaching secret classes to all the people?
But they're all consenting adults.
It's like, oh no, I think this is an adult education university.
Minors need not apply. Yeah,
yeah,
and I'm talking MINERS.
Yeah, they're filthy. Like they're always covered in coal dust.
Exactly.
Getting the beds dirty, and you know the other accoutrement, sex,
the mattresses, the
like
duvets, the sex wings, as it were,
the fuck pillows, the wedges,
Oh fuck me!
No, fuck you.
Potato wedges, You just made me
getting
think
hungry.
Yeah. God, fuck you. That's so, like...
So the other... Just because this might be interesting as well, and it's a completely different tack, the other thing with gyration and curriculum that made me think of that is a space station, with gyration being like the gyroscope, like keeping it upright. So like a sci-fi-ish college or university... sort of situation could be fun as well.
Now, the question is, does a gyro work within a gyro? So can you actually, you know, show the effect of what a gyro looks like under the...
Oh, yeah. Well, like if you're on a gyroscopically, like, weighted ship or whatever, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Can you have your gyro in your gyro, and does it gyro?
If you put a gyro in a gyro and eat it...
Or can you have gyros in a gyro? Or it's all you can have?
That's all you can have. That's all they serve at this university. No, but you could do, you know, a lot of fun parody stuff. You could get Snoop Dogg in, like, as if for a cameo. I think it was 3 to 1 click.
3 to 1 click. Characteristic.
Sporin, which I think is the front of a kilt.
Yes.
Like the little scrotal part, the kilt scrotum.
Isn't it just the little bag?
Yeah, it's a pouch that functions as a pocket for the kilt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what are the characteristics of kilts? I mean...
Well, this could
the
just be
means all different things.
This could just be the characteristic. Oh, yeah, that's true. But of a character, maybe they wear a kilt. Like we're just sort of, you know.
Fuck yeah!
Something's hidden.
I love the idea of. I don't know why, but my head's just gone to like a private detective who's just, He wears a kilt, got a sporran. And,
Yeah.
that's where he keeps his ID.
He's Scottish. Yeah.
And he's gone.
He's gone. He's just
But on his back, he's got a fucking
It's
claymore.
convenient. It's basically the precursor to a fanny pack or to a bum bag, right?
Exactly.
With this sporran there, but it's much more stylish.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I don't know a ton about Scottish culture and where that all comes from, but we could go down that route. Is it set in Scotland, or is this a Scottish, immigrant somewhere?
I just like the fact that he loves his Scottish heritage and has decided that, he's just going to wear a kilt.
Yeah, okay. But that's not a game, is my point.
Yeah.
That's the game. Yeah.
Well, I think you can then delve in deep as to, why he loves his Scottish heritage so much. Maybe.
Yeah. You dive into it for sure. You'll tie that into the storylines that you're doing. Is there a bagpipe rhythm game as part of it? Do we really go stereotypical? Does he throw giant logs for fun?
Well, I did just click again just to see if I could get another word to give us a help as to where this could go. And I got the word rival.
Okay.
And I like the idea of there is someone else who in his orbit that is his direct rival.
From a different clan or...
Well,
is that what they're called?
whether they're wearing, whether they are Scottish as well, or whether they're English, because we all know that the English and Scots don't love each other.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of rivalry there. That could be a bit of fun, but I do like the old caper toss. I do like the old
bit of haggis. You got to go for all the hits.
Yeah. We can get Mike Myers to do his amazing, So I Married an Axe Murderer father character again. Hid, move.
Or, just Shrek.
That too.
Scottish
I went
ogres.
with the main thing that I remember him from.
I mean, don't we all? That's where our mind all goes for.
So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yeah.
Came well before Shrek.
Yes. One of
3-1.
Yeah, I think so. I just don't have the Scottish English history there. My wife would be able to do that a bit better, I'm sure. Vertebrate.
Supreme.
Oh, the supreme vertebrate. Okay. I mean, this feels sort of like an evolutionary, sort of vibe.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like Spore, but better.
Yeah. Is the supreme vertebrate just a spine? Like, mainly spine?
It's all spine all the way down.
It's just all spine. I mean, I guess technically for it to still be a vertebrate, it does have to be... I guess it just needs to have a spine.
Just needs to have a spine, and then
like you think of
appendages coming
the
off.
sort of internal skeleton, but technically, I think the term vertebrate does not necessarily imply internal skeleton.
I mean,
just a spinal-based skeleton.
Yeah, because a snake would be a vertebrate, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the supreme vertebrate then? Is it just a big snake? Doesn't have any of those silly
maybe two spines.
Spines on the back and front. So no matter where you are.
Bispinal.
Bispinal. Spinal tap. Bispinal tap.
Bispinal tap, yeah. Bispinal would be a good name for a Spinal Tap song, I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think 3-1 go.
Yeah. Sure.
I think we're not going further than bispinal on that one.
Oh, no.
All right. Influx.
Profit.
An influx of profit. Wait, PH profit or F profit?
I'll let you decide.
Okay. Well, let's go with PH because it's more fun.
Good. Because it was the other one.
Okay. Because otherwise it's just there's no jumping off points there. You just end up with
it's just 3 profit. I mean, that's all it would be. Yeah. Whatever you say, 3 profit.
It's the third in a series. Well, there's the first in the series and there's the third in the series. no second. We do the old Legendary 4 deal.
Yeah.
It's a Legendary heavy episode.
Yeah. Of course. Always.
Okay.
We have to cut so much of it out. We'll just leave it in today.
It's whatever. I feel like then a prophet is the influx, the visions, like that someone is getting.
Yeah.
It's having to tie vague visions into things that you're seeing in the game or something.
Yes. Kind of. Okay. Have you ever seen NCIS?
I mean, yes.
Coming into out of each head. Going into or coming out of each ad break, they have like a little bit that they do, and then that's the way the next ad break is going to go in. So you see that little bit of right, this is going to end at this point, and then you see it happen, and you see how they got there.
Vaguely remember that, yeah.
The idea that you could do that within a game,
weird thing.
It is a weird thing, but it's like. The fact that you could actually do that in a game and it's like, when this sort of happens, that's when, this vision
or like
will
the way
through,
the way that shows like, say, Buffy or something would, in the opening credits, you'd see, there's a credit for this character that's been on previously. We're going to expect them to show up, or like in the previously on, it's like, they just showed something from 2 seasons ago. There's going to be some connection there.
There's going to be some connection about that. Okay, that is
I do
really
like
cool.
that sort of sense of just
they just
foreshadowing.
And just before they wake up, like, their dreams go previously on, and it shows a whole heap of things. It's like, oh crap! Today I'm going to run into my high school bully.
Maybe. Well, I kind of like the dream. I wonder if you could do a thing like the dreams are a bigger part of the game almost as well, where they're still obviously they're prophetic. They're prophetic, but you're sort of playing through the dream and then seeing these things pop up that then relate to your more mundane real life.
I kind of like the idea of you get a few visions to start it off, and you can replay those visions at any time, game wise. If you get through a day and you haven't hit all those visions, something, your sanity takes a hit or something like that. And it's one of those things of, you need to try and find where all those visions hit, because, something bad will happen to the people if you don't.
That's interesting too. So it's like a Tony Hawk level.
Yeah, where you're looking for, I was in that supermarket. Okay, I need to get to that supermarket. And it turns out that it wasn't that particular one. It was the one down the street, and you had to,
Yeah, that's right. You look around and you don't see the person in there, or you don't see the letters SKATE down aisle 3.
Exactly.
Which you definitely saw in your vision.
And you didn't see that floating, spinning dollar bill.
Yeah, VHS tape in the corner. But no, I kind of like that you're almost setting up a run of where you're trying to not necessarily keep a combo going, but like trying to hit the key points
of the
based on this vision,
and it will actually lead you to something that's it.
It will build up story as you go then from each of these things. But the way you do it is you start to learn. It's basically an open world sort of thing where you're like, oh, right, I saw that thing in the vision. I think in the background that's the clock tower, So it's about here from the clock tower. All right, and what time was on the clock? Like having to match up and figure out, from context clues where and when you should be, and whether you need to bring anything, like have anything with you, or sort of multi-step ones.
He had an Apple Watch. Okay, go steal an Apple Watch from that guy. In the first one, I didn't see him have the Apple Watch. In the second one, he had the Apple Watch. But then the third one, he didn't have an Apple Watch. So I get rid of it at some stage.
I mean, but those sorts of little inconsistencies could be really interesting. And maybe that's a way even for you to sort of get higher scores almost, or get a better completion rate. It feels a little Hitman-ish too, in that sense of you've sort of you've got these different situations and you can come at them in different ways. But yeah, you get the score by most accurately meeting the
prophetic visions for the day.
Yeah, so you might still manage the main thing, which was just to like bring this guy lunch, but you didn't notice that like the logo on the bag was from a specific place, and that's and getting it was a bit more involved from that place or something like those sorts of things.
Yeah, there's certainly something there. I'm not sure whether we're smart enough to actually find it all.
Look, I think this is a bit of a speed run night in a way. We're not going super deep, so let's click again.
Yeah, we're playing a round of just the tip.
Totally. I learned how to do it at Fuck You. 3, 2, and click. Cob
sampling.
Cob sampling. It's corn. I like the juice. My kids have got into that recently. The like 3-year-old meme or whatever it is. They stumbled across it on Spotify.
You're talking about.
You don't? Oh well, that makes it even better. Okay, so corn on the cob sampling. Is this like are you like a worker at like a Costco doing like a free sample kind of worker? That could be an interesting setting for something.
Yeah. Okay.
The different personalities that kind of come by and.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, you giving out different free samples each day. You're not doing the same free sample each time.
No. And that puts you in different places in the store, and
yeah,
you start to get to know your co-workers and stuff.
Okay, I can definitely see this as like you're constantly hearing, things over the announcements, clean up on aisle 5 and whatever.
Well, I'm getting a very like Superstore, the TV show vibe from it as well. I wonder if you could do, maybe it's not just the giving out free samples. Maybe this is just sort of a story-based, Superstore-esque game, and you've just got all these little tasks to do and stuff. Yeah. But as you're doing that, you're getting these conversations with the co-workers and weird things, events happening with the customers, and and you make it a comedy thing. You make it a bit of it's more of a narrative thing in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. Just trying to think of the different events that could happen each day. Like you've got a rival person who's giving out free samples, and you got to try and make yours the most popular because
keep adding stuff to them. You keep going and taking other people like stuff from the other free sample trays and adding them to the toothpick, so you've got like multiple things.
It's a sample bad.
Yeah. But I mean, I think you would have, you'd have the rival-ish other employees, like the person who just thinks they're better than everyone else and who's a real asshole. You'd have like the love triangle going on where you've got other people that are into the same other employee.
You got your crush who works in the cashiers, and they come by every now and again, and they've got a boyfriend.
Yeah, of course they do. You could even do this. I wonder if a good way to go about this is in the sort of you've got limited time in the day sort of thing, so you get a bit of a relationship stat building stuff happening as well, where it's like a bit like a monster prom and stuff, like those sorts of games where it's like, okay, for this section, for this hour, I'm gonna go over to the clothes section and fold clothes, and so is also there, and so you get an event.
Yep.
Or something based on that sort of plays out, but maybe with a bit more mini game-ish gameplay in there as well. Like I kind of like the idea of even maybe in VR or something like, oh yeah, you're grabbing clothes off and folding them and putting them on as this stuff around you is happening, and you're having these dialogue, like these conversations and making choices that then alter the stats of your relationships with the other employees and stuff.
Yeah, it'd definitely be fun in VR where you're taking the toothpick and you're poking it into the thing and giving it to someone. And then
right, exactly, yeah. Like just that little sort of busy work that can be fun in VR, as the background for the narrative stuff that's playing out.
Right now, we're going to grate the cheese. Okay, we're doing some grating.
Yeah. Oh, I grated too much, and now there's blood everywhere.
Went down, and I've now put knuckles in there. Oh, we have to throw all this cheese out.
Yeah. Well, and that could dictate. It's like, oh, well, because that scene ended that way, it's like, well, the next hour you're out in the garbage, you're at the back in the alley throwing away all the cheese.
Yes.
All the contaminated food. But the stoner, assistant manager is out there and you have a scene with them sort of thing.
Oh God. That's so good.
Yeah. I feel like particularly with that Monster Prom-ish vibe where you're building those relationships like that. And
it's
sort of
more about the relationships and it's more about, how by the end of the week or whatever it is that.
Yeah. You've made connections with different people and you can have certain different endings and stuff.
Oh, the fact that you could actually have different relationships with different people and get different endings from that. Like,
yeah. In the
really
same way
exciting.
those games work. Yeah, basically. Cool.
To be honest, I don't think I've actually played Monster Prom all the way through.
I've definitely done runs because you do generally, it is one of those ones that you'll often play over, to sort of, focus on a different romance or try to get romance with a particular character. And there's a lot of them. I don't know how many of
how
many are in your Steam library?
I own two of them.
I thought it would be more than that actually. Monster Prom 2. Yeah. But there's also, I think there's like a road trip one.
Monster Camp Forever.
Yeah. Camp one. That's right. Yeah. There's a whole series of them.
So Monster Prom Second Term, Monster Prom 3, Monster Prom 4, I don't have.
Right, yeah. Monster Prom 3 is the road trip one, I see.
And then you got all the Monster Camp ones as well, so.
That's cool.
Oh no, Monster Prom 2 is Monster Camp, and then there's like a whole heap of add-ons for it that come out. So, yeah,
right,
there's only
because there's because there's this Monster Con all access bundle as well, which is for Monster Prom 4, which is presumably then at a convention.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've done a bunch of DLC, but
yeah,
that's cool.
I mean,
anyways, all right. Well, we'll see if I bother cutting all that Monster Prom chat out or not. But otherwise, I think it's time to end the episode. So if you would like to find all of our previous episodes online, you can go to podchaser.com/bitstorm. Check them all out there, and also bitstormcast.com.
And if you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. And you can find that for free at kuradust.bandcamp.com.
That's right. Thank you, Trevor, for that long, I was going to say long-winded. I mean, I just meant you did it without taking a breath.
I always do it without taking a breath.
This is more obvious this time. Thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott, and welcome to Fuck You.
Welcome to Fuck You. I'm a Fuck You alum.
Me too.